This month on The Spark, our theme is Health Plus Safety. We'll learn more about a nonprofit educating young women about the importance of early detection of breast cancer, an organization boldly fighting for missing, exploited, and sex-trafficked children, and a company delivering plant-based nutrition on a mission to inspire healthy living in our homes and in our community. We'll also share a special moment from our Spark Awards 2020.
Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is honored to serve the Memphis community for over 60 years. We've always focused on supporting our community and believe in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is proud to be a presenting sponsor of The Spark.
Additional funding for The Spark is provided by Meriton, United Way of the Mid-South, MyTown Movers, MyTown Roofing, MyTown Miracles, and by Serves.
Ever been excited by a new idea? Inspired by watching someone lead by example? When we talk about creating change, we start by sharing the stories of everyday heroes who are making a difference in their own way so we can learn and do the same. I'm Jeremy Park, and this is The Spark. They're a nonprofit with a mission to increase early detection of breast cancer in women ages 25 to 45. We're here with the co-founder of Keisha Warrior Princess, Bob Furness. And this is a personal journey for you and your family. Give us a little bit of context for launching Keisha Warrior Princess.
Thank you, Jeremy, for the opportunity. It is personal. My daughter, Keisha, was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, metastatic breast cancer, when she was only 30 years old. Just a devastating diagnosis, but she was the kind of person, the kind of woman that just immediately turned on the strength that we could not imagine could be possible. She fought the disease for 4 long years, multiple, I think 14 different chemo regimens, but it eventually took her life. But somewhere through that 4 years, I began to call her the Warrior, which turned into the Warrior Princess because of the grace by which she lived and the fight by which she fought as a warrior.
And so obviously launching this in her honor, but now looking forward, the goal is to save lives. Talk about what you learned in terms of the stats that when you talk about breast cancer, it does, as obviously you've seen the devastation firsthand, it does impact younger women. So talk about some of the stats and what you've seen.
So 1 in 8 women, according to the CDC, 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. And the surprising part that I didn't realize is that 9% of those that are diagnosed will be in women under 45. When you look at other organizations and you look at what you hear on TV and what you hear in the news, you just don't hear a lot of focus about that young demographic. And the reality is, as we begin to understand the realities of metastatic, there is also a stat that women who are under 45 tend to be diagnosed further along in their stages because they assume that it's something else. They assume it's not breast cancer.
When you look at launching Keisha Warrior Princess, obviously we talked about the mission, but give us some of your main goals, objectives, talk about kind of the programmatic piece of what you're doing.
So our main goal is for education and empowerment. The education of women to understand the importance of monthly self-checks and the importance of going to the gynecologist consistently. And when they find a difference to immediately call that out. The reality is, and my wife has told me that when she goes to the gynecologist, she gets that person, that woman looks at her body, looks at who she is differently than the regular GP. And so the reality is that clinical self-exam, our clinical exams are even better than a self-exam. The self-exam is really about knowing your body, knowing that that wasn't there yesterday, that wasn't there last month, that those kind of changes.
You have shower cards, you have a number of kind of programmatic pieces that you're putting out for free for people to access. Talk about those cards.
It is our key element. We've distributed almost 25,000 cards since our launch back in July of 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. The card is designed to hang on the shower head and to remind, just a friendly reminder of, hey, have I done it this month? Have I done my self-check? You can get one of those by coming to our website and just requesting them. You can request one or request 5 for all the women in your life. Even for men, ask for the card, give it to your wife, give it to your daughter, give it to your to the women in your life to make sure that they are doing that self-check.
Talk about some of the other things that you're doing, because you do have a number of hands-on things that you're doing, and then how we can help as a community.
So we have a partnership with West Cancer Foundation, which has been a godsend in that it allows us to engage with underserved communities that we, as small as we are, may not have access to. So things like mammograms and appointments for women who don't have insurance, those kind of underserved opportunities. So that's been a great opportunity for us to engage into the Memphis community. We've also had opportunities to go into the community, not as much as we would like because of COVID, but to go into the communities to events to bring forward this message and to talk to women about it. I have 2 female board members that are much better about talking about it to the general public than I am. I just happen to be the voice on TV.
We'll wrap up with contact information, website, social media. Where do we go to learn more, to reach out for the shower cards, and obviously to get involved?
So you can request a shower card. You can find out more about our plans and connect to us on our socials. If you go to Facebook or Instagram and search on Keisha Warrior Princess, we're the only Keisha Warrior Princess there is. If you are looking to engage with us and to donate, which helps us bring more education, allows us to be more involved into the community, you can do that at warriorprincess.org, warriorprincess.org. And there's all the information. There's much more information about my daughter's story of who she was, why we did this in her honor, and more information about how to do self-checks. All of those resources are available at Warrior Princess.
Well, Bob, greatly appreciate all you and your family are doing to honor your daughter and to be a light for others, for so many others. So thank you very much for all you do and for coming on the show.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. We appreciate it.
They're an organization boldly fighting for missing, exploited, and sex-trafficked children. We're here with the founder and executive director of Saving Lost Kids, Pastor Brian Callies. And let's start out. Give us a little bit of history and context for Saving Lost Kids.
Wonderful. Great to see you again, Mr. Jeremy. So Brian, Saving Lost Kids, and what we do is basically what the name implies. So missing, exploited, and sex-trafficked children. So we started about 5.5 years ago. And the idea was originally just try to get into the field and do the biggest impact we could on trying to address those fields of missing, exploited, and sex-trafficked children. The problem that we found is that even though there's a lot of little things that are being done in individual places, most of them aren't very effective. And we didn't find a great place that we could just literally pour ourselves into. So once we figured out the second thing, which is how big this problem is and how much most people have a total misconception about how it works and how television says that it is, that we decided, all right, let's do something about it, make the biggest impact we can. And so we started our foundation. It was at the time Brian Callies Foundation, and that became our current mission of Saving Lost Kids.
So let's start with prevention. You have a number of sides on the prevention area. And so you have a family safety outreach center. You've got all sorts of opportunities on the prevention, but talk about your work on the prevention side.
Okay, great. So again, 3 keys of what we do: prevent, then rescue, then restore. So we're going to talk about prevent first. And on the prevention side, what we found out is that most children that go missing, almost 95% of it or so is totally avoidable if the child made a safer choice, but they have to know those safer choices and then make them. And then also what really helps is when the parents have that radar up and they start to raise up that awareness level of what could happen to their children, why sex trafficking happens, that kind of thing. So what we do on the prevention side is we said, okay, well, let's just go out to the public, go where the children are. and we'll just interface them one-on-one. We don't really just set up information tables. What we do is provide free resources for the families to come to us. So free child safety IDs is one of our biggest bread and butters, but ours, if we were going to do it, was going to be super professional. So we got the backing and the support of all kinds of law enforcement. The FBI gave us advice on how to do the DNA collection, and ours is a real forensic tool that has to be done on site. We don't have takeaway kits. And the beauty of that is twofold. Number one, of course, it gives us the best forensic tool that we could have if the child does go missing. That's brilliant. But the real thing it does is it gets their awareness level up of what could happen, and it brings them to the table. Now that's where the education starts, and the education is the key. We used to go out to the public before COVID, and now COVID's kind of shut down all the churches, schools, and all the public events. So what we do is now bring people to us at our family safety outreach centers. So we have one of those that we bring families to. Then we have another one that's more of an outreach type of thing, which is at the Hickory Ridge Mall, where we actually do seminars. So this one's like geared to doing a kind of a group of parents at one time, or even a group of parents and children. And we have all kinds of speakers in line, from FBI, TBI, to all kinds of things that actually address safety issues from where your children are today.
Let's talk about rescue, because you do a lot on the rescue side, including some really amazing innovations on digitally deputizing and creating a network. So talk about your work within the rescue side.
All right, so rescue is using another one of our arms that we have called the USISB, and it works in conjunction with law enforcement. We aren't a renegade group. We work literally right in close with law enforcement to try to help search and rescue for missing children and sex trafficking rescue. One of our biggest things, as you alluded to, that we're just now alerting. So one of the everyone's heard of the Amber Alert, right? So we love the Amber Alert. Beautiful program. And the founder of the Amber Alert is a good friend of mine. And so it will only address, though, less than 1% of the missing children in the US, right? So it's very specific, very concentrated for a great group. But so that leaves a vast majority of the kids that are never going to become on an Amber Alert. And what we're going to do is address that. We have a new program that we're doing that with my buddy who's guiding us a little bit on that. And so we started up our own version of an Amber Alert, and it's just called the Missing Child Alert, or APB Missing Child Alert. And the way that works is really simple. As we're just starting this out of the gate, it's what we're doing it over text at first. And the text, if you text the word lost, LOST, text the word lost to 51555, text the word lost to 515, then you become a digital deputy. And you'll get a text. And when kids go missing in your area, your local circle, where there's most likely the biggest chances that they're still there. And we want you to just get your eyes open, put it on social media, just try to bring that alertness thing. I've got right now, we've got, I just got a total on this. We got 84 missing kids, just Tennessee alone right now. And 99% of America doesn't have a clue that they're missing or what they look like, even if they did bump into them.
Talk about your efforts around restoration and healing.
So once we started rescuing the kids, what we found out is in America in general, there are no real great solutions that are available for most of the children. So there are about 650 beds, let's say, in America in general for children that are rescued out of sex trafficking. But for the most part, like, they're either full or they're unavailable for most of the children that we get. So here's the problem. If you don't solve the problems in the child's life now that they've been damaged and impacted, and that many ACEs, we call those adverse childhood experiences, get that much, it permanently affects their future, and they become a repeat victim because they're constantly still a victim inside, right? And so the bad guys can easily exploit it. So what we are building now to address that is we're currently building the largest care facility for girls that have been recovered out of sex trafficking in the country, the largest thing that's ever been done for child sex trafficking. And it's going to be right here in Tennessee. The first one that we're building is in Arlington, most likely in Arlington. We're just finalizing all the land contracts on that right now. And we're moving steadily on it. We've got a 28-member board, some great people that are on the board, from the sheriff and law enforcement side to the political sides. And so we're trying to make this so much more of an issue than just, say, West Tennessee or Tennessee. This is a national issue. And once we get this first one kind of down and get it cookie cuttered, we already have it in plan to do 2 others in various parts of the country. So this will be a long-term care facility, everything on site, 18 buildings, $21 million projected budget for right now.
Talk about a couple ways we can help.
All right, some great ways to help. So let's start off with the website, right? SavingLostKids.org. You can look there and there's great ways to connect. So we have that /connect, right? And anything you can think of will be right there on our webpage. So SavingLostKids.org.
Well, Brian, greatly appreciate all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for everything, Jeremy. And thank you, Spark, for what you do for the community.
The Spark Awards annually recognize and celebrate individuals and organizations that have made outstanding contributions to the community. The 2020 recipient of the nonprofit with a budget greater than $5 million award is the Memphis Jewish Community Center.
The Memphis Jewish Community Center is a local community center that has something for everyone. It has an amazing early childhood center, an expanded fitness center, an outdoor water park, an art house, a theater, a senior adult programming, summer camp, and so much more. Our mission is connecting, engaging, and strengthening Jewish Memphis, but we have something for everyone, and it is open to all. The Memphis Jewish Community Center has always been very proud of our youth programming. We were very excited to be able to run a safe summer camp this summer for Memphis youth. It was a safe summer camp. All our counselors were wearing masks. Our groups were limited in small numbers, but we were still able to provide that fun summer that we usually do for all of our youth and children. So our seniors, we work with MIFA to provide them a daily lunch program where they can come together, meet, mingle, and also have a warm meal at the JCC every day. When COVID happened, our seniors were not allowed in the building, so we worked with volunteers to be able to deliver those meals safely to seniors' homes. We were able to visit with them with phone calls. Then we were actually able to start having virtual lunches where their meals were delivered, but then they were able to get on a call and still have that time with each other, which meant the world to them during a time where they needed to stay home. So our cultural arts department has always been a big part of the JCC. We have our Jewish Film Festival every year, and then our Literary and Cultural Arts Series, which features authors and speakers. This year we had to think out of the box, and we did it virtually. We actually teamed up with other JCCs around North America, and were able to put together programming. We had Al Roker, Aaron Brockovich, bigger speakers that our members were able to log in on a Zoom, read their books, and hear the authors speak, and it was such a success. I think when people hear the Memphis Jewish Community Center, they might think it is only for the Jewish community, but it's not. It really is a place in the heart of East Memphis that is open to all and has something for everyone.
They're a company on a mission to inspire healthy living in our homes and in our communities. We're here with the executive chairman of the board for the Juice Plus companies, Paulo Teixeira. And Paulo, let's start out. Give us a little bit of history for the Juice Plus company.
You bet, Jeremy. Thanks for having me. The Juice Plus brand has really been around for about 28 years. It was created way back when by a naturopathic doctor, and he discovered a way of dehydrating fruits and vegetables in a way that they wouldn't lose their nutritional value. And so that was the very foundation of the company. Obviously, dehydrated fruits and vegetables, when they're alive, they're very pungent. And so the company came up with the idea of encapsulating them so people could consume the product and enjoy the benefits. And so Juice Plus was born that way. Today, we have 3 primary brands that we market out there in the marketplace, which is Juice Plus Proper, which stands for micronutrition, the vitamins, the phytonutrients that you need in your bloodstream to bridge the gap between what we should eat and what we do eat in terms of fruits and vegetables. The Complete brand, which is a macronutrition. It has some calories, and it is a plant-based shake, if you will, a nutritional product that way. And then our Tower Gardens, which are a hydroponic, aeroponic way of growing your own fruits and vegetables at home or in a farm setting with less than 10% of the water and less than 10% of the footprint. So that's who we are.
Give us a little bit of the business model, because you have a unique business model.
Yeah, we do. We are a direct sales company. So we are present actually in 26 different countries at the moment, and our products are sold through representatives who we call field partners. And they represent the product out there, and they make money on a part-time basis by selling the product. We don't use the term selling, we use the term sharing, by sharing the product. And so we are a corporate group that supports our field partners that share the product with well over 1.5 million customers worldwide.
You are heavily involved in the community. You're a big tennis player. You support a lot of different nonprofits. Your company heavily involved, as I mentioned at the onset, supporting our homes, but really supporting our community is a big part of the mission and being healthy. Talk about supporting nonprofits out, not just in the Mid-South, but all around the nation and world, why that's so important to the Juice Plus company.
Yeah, being involved in the community is absolutely a must for us. It's a must for me as a person, and it's also a must for our company. And by the way, thanks for the big tennis player, but I do recognize that it's an expense, not a source of income. So it's actually an interesting story, Jeremy. I met the founder of the Juice Plus company via the Boys and Girls Clubs here in Memphis. We were finalizing a capital campaign, and I was chairing the Boys and Girls Clubs at the time, and that's kind of how we met. And one thing led to another, and so on and so forth. So summarizing a little bit about what we do in terms of the community, I've been involved with the Boys and Girls Clubs personally since the early 90s. I'm dating myself now. But as a company, we have what we call the Juice Plus Foundation. That foundation is really funded. It's really supported by all of our field partners out there. They all, actually over 98% of them, contribute voluntarily to the foundation. And the company then overmatches that contribution to do as much good as we possibly can in all the communities where we participate, where we exist. And you mentioned the Boys and Girls Clubs. I did as well. We are very proud of having had the association with the Boys and Girls Clubs as a company since 2006 or so, via the Technical Training Center of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Memphis. That's a mouthful. And the idea there is to get the teenagers that came through the Boys and Girls Clubs, and also others that want to join at that time, and provide them with vocational skills if they're not going to into the military or to college. So they can get out there and find jobs in fulfilling positions in society, so they can be productive. We're very, very proud of the fact that since inception, we have graduated 7,000 youth through that program, and we have actually gotten 7,000 jobs for them. So each one of them graduates with a job that pays approximately $15 an hour or more. And we're very proud of all that. And the Juice Plus company is a big funder of that.
That's awesome. Give me one more work with nonprofit, one more effort. It could be personal or corporate, but one that puts a smile on your face.
Well, so many things do. And I'll mention quickly a couple. I mean, one is the St. Jude Marathon. We have been sponsors of the St. Jude Marathon, we as a company, for over 20 years now. And as you know, the St. Jude Marathon now raises an average of about $10 million a year for the kids of St. Jude. And so since our involvement, over $100 million have been raised, because the monies have been growing towards the $10 million that we're at now. So we're very proud of that, and very proud of helping the kids of St. Jude. And also the Children's Hunger Fund. We contribute meals to at-risk youth in terms of food insecurity. And we have contributed over 1 million meals through the Children's Hunger Fund. It's distributed through the Children's Hunger Fund in the United States and the Caribbean. So we do what we can to help. And if you talk about kids and health, that's our wheelhouse.
Wrap up with contact information. Where do we go to learn more about the Juice Plus Company?
Yeah, to learn more, go to our website, www.juiceplus.com.
Well, Paulo, greatly appreciate all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure. Anytime.
When we talk about the pillars of a vibrant community, two of the most important elements are health plus safety. Our children must be protected with a safe and supportive environment where they can grow up, learn, and thrive. Youth and parents must be able to maintain good health with access to preventative and quality health care, proper nutrition, and outlets for exercise and fellowship. That's why the work that individuals and organizations are doing here in the Mid-South is so important, like we saw in this month's episode. Organizations like Keisha Warrior Princess are making sure that younger women are more proactive with their health and exams to fight against breast cancer and help save lives. Saving Lost Children is doing so much to prevent child endangerment, find and rescue missing children, and help restore and heal them. Then companies like Juice Plus are not only using their nutritious products to inspire healthy living in our homes, they're lifting our community and enabling healthy change by supporting nonprofits through volunteerism, leadership, and financial contributions. When we give, our community can grow. So thank you for all you give and for watching The Spark. To learn more about each of the guests, to watch past episodes, and to share your stories of others leading by example, visit WKNO.org and click on the link for The Spark. We look forward to seeing you next month, and we hope that you'll continue joining with us to create a spark for the Mid-South.
Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is honored to serve the Memphis community for over 60 years. We've always focused on supporting our community and believe in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is proud to be a presenting sponsor of The Spark.